And what we'll do is we'll put it into max mode and we'll come down here. I'm just gonna fly by you and just show you the speed. So that's it there. What's up guys, my name is Dan Davis and I'm the creative director here on DansTube.TV, and today I've got a different video. I'm testing out an electric scooter. This is from Panmi and it's called the Xiaomi Scooter 4. Now I do have a discount code for people watching this video. Use the code DAN50, that's DAN50, and you will get yourself $50 off the scooter. What I'll be showing you today is how the scooter operates, some of the main features of the scooter. This is the first time I've actually owned an electric scooter, so I feel like this is a perfect beginner scooter for a lot of people. So I'll just get you to come over here and I'll just kind of show you what you get with the scooter. So just down here on the handlebar section here, we do have a brake over here, which from my experiences has been very responsive and reliable. We've got the bell here, which is nice and easy to use. Got a nice amount of kind of volume to it. A lot of people definitely turn around when I use that. You got this here, which I'll show you in a bit, which is kind of the clip that holds on to the scooter itself when you fold it down. The power button here, which you just press and hold to power on. And then you've got this here, which is basically the accelerator. And that's really all you need to know about the main system itself. There is an app that you can use, and I will load that up in a second just to show you some of those features. But when it comes to the functionality of the button itself, you pretty much just press it once to turn on the light on the front here, press it again to turn off that light. Double tapping will go between the walking mode, the D mode, which is like a drive mode I guess, and then the S mode, which is the sports mode. This is the light here, if you can see that, and I'll just press the button once and you'll see the light comes on, press it again and the light will power off. Also at the back here we do have a brake light as well. That's pretty handy to have as well, just so people can see you nice and safe. This is the little like clipping point here where you actually like fold it down and clip on. There's kind of 2 points to release, so I'll release that one, lift this one up, and then as I was showing you before, we've got this clip here. This kind of just clips on here, and then that's how you will lift it up. There's also a little kick pedal, whatever you want to call it, a little stand, I guess would be the correct word, right? So a stand there as well, but not too heavy, relatively portable. I just chuck this in the car and then I drive to a location. So in terms of some of the key features, before I show you me riding this, there'll be some other like footage of me setting up the scooter, riding it and whatnot that you'll see throughout the video. But just some of the key features. So max speed is 25 kilometers an hour. I find that to be fine. You know, it gets me about in the suburbs. I find it to be great. I am like near the water here and riding along near the shore, perfectly fine. 25 kilometers an hour is great. In terms of the range, so they say you get about 20 to 35 kilometers of range. I'll show you through the app in a second how you can actually see the range that you're getting out of it. On the actual indicator on the screen, it just shows you the battery. So it just shows you bars to let you know how much battery percentage you've got, which, you know, is fine. But 20 to 35 kilometers of range, I'd say is pretty realistic. I am getting that in most of the tests that I'm doing. So they do say with the Xiaomi Scooter 4 that you can go up a 16% slope. So that means that, I guess, reliably the scooter is going to power up a slope of 16%, the incline. I mean, I've tested it on a few slopes and it is definitely a little slow when you're going up a slope. It isn't really designed for something like that, like powering up a mountain, for example, but just keep that in mind, right? Like you want to make sure that you're not going up hectic hills, otherwise you will pretty much just have to push it with your foot, but that's not an issue. 16% slope is fine. The unit itself does weigh 14.9 kilograms. So like I showed you, you know, it does have a bit of weight to it, but I think the average person is not going to have an issue with that. It feels really comfortable to carry, and in most situations you're just going to be having it unfolded and pushing it anyway, right? Like most situations you'll have it folded out like this and ready to go. So you're not going to have any issues with that. In terms of the capacity of what the scooter can handle, they're saying 110 kilograms is what it can handle. So I weigh about, I can't even think of what I weigh, like 95 kilograms, I want to say. And it's fine with me. It doesn't seem to slow down. It can hit the max speed of 25 kilometers an hour. No issues with that at all. So that's really cool. And they're saying you get about 5 hours of battery life. So again, really reliable stuff. That range of 20 to 35 kilometers is phenomenal. In a second, I'll show you kind of what the turning circle looks like, and I'll show you what it looks like as I'm riding just in this location here. But I just want to make sure I talk through some of the other points that I was testing and seem to do a really good job, right? So the first thing is the fact that they are 10-inch tubeless tires. So the tires, if you want to come and have a look just quickly, the tires themselves are really nice tires, 10-inch tubeless. You can inflate them here, so you can just take it to a gas station or get yourself like a portable, I guess, air inflator, whatever you want to call it, and you can just pump them up. You can actually set it through the app as well to remind you every month or so to inflate the tires. I've found that the tubeless tires seem to work perfectly well. And if you just come down here, so we do have the brake, and you can see that's the brake working there. So 140mm disc. It is also a dual braking system. Again, super reliable with the brakes. I find that I had no issues with the braking system itself. And if you just come back up here just for a second. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly power on the app. So the app is called Mi Home, so MI Home. The app itself just gives you some really basic functionality, but some more information that you won't be able to see on the actual screen on the scooter itself. So all you do is you just connect it up, which I'm doing right now. It connects via Bluetooth. It connected instantly. So I can see right now that the range I've got is 17 kilometers. So the app itself just gives me a bit more information, but on the screen itself, it's only giving me the 3 battery bars. So the app's great to look at. I can see I'm in sports mode, and as I change the mode, it goes to walking mode, standard mode, which is the D mode, and then you can go into the sports mode. I can see I've got 49% battery life, and then I also have the option to turn on the tail light at the back, which I seem to like having on just when you're on the road, people can see you. You can slide to lock the scooter as well. So I can slide that and it locks the scooter. So it turns off the display. So let's say, for example, someone was trying to steal this, it's locked, so no one can actually like power it on and use it. So it's great that you can do that. You can then unlock it again, which is handy to have. And then the energy recovery as well. You've got low, medium, and high. So there's a few options through the app. This is also how you would update the scooter as well with the firmware. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just going to power it on, make sure that this is all connected, make sure I've got my safety buckled on, and I'll just show you, because there's also a 6-axis gyroscope within the scooter itself. So that actually basically means that regardless of what you're doing, the scooter itself is going to stabilize. So even if it notices that you're leaning too far, it's going to stabilize the scooter to give you a more stable and also a safer experience when you're riding. So I've just powered it on, it's ready to go. We'll put it in sports mode, and basically all you have to do is you just push and then use the accelerator, and it's ready to go instantly. Make sure you've obviously got no one around you. But again, very reliable with its turning radius. Nice and reliable on all sorts of terrains. And you can see up here, what I'll do is I'll just turn around just to show you that turning radius again. But that 6-axis gyro is very reliable, because I feel that even if I'm leaning, the scooter itself actually calibrates and basically resets it back to a point that's safer. I find that my comfortable riding style is 1 foot on there and then 1 on the back, even though it does say warning, no step. But I find that that's the most comfortable, because the platform itself, as you can see with my foot, like I pretty much take up the whole platform. So to have 1 foot like that is the most comfortable. I see people kind of ride like this as well, where they ride it like a skateboard, but I find that that's a little bit more unstable. So this is how I personally prefer. I'm just going to ride down this road and come back, and I'll show you it at max speed. I'll try to get to the 25 kilometers, but a simple push, and then you accelerate and you're ready to go instantly. So what I'll do is I'll just turn around up here, make sure no one's coming, and what we'll do is we'll put it into max mode, and we'll come down here. I'm just going to fly by you and just show you the speed. So that's it there. So that's the acceleration, the speed, and what you can get up to. I'll just show you the braking as I come back. So as I come up, this is me putting on the brake here. Very responsive, instant, such an enjoyable riding experience, and yeah, really been enjoying it so far. I think that this is honestly like probably the best starting point for someone that wants to get an electric scooter. And maybe you've used some of the ones that you can get around town. Like I know in Australia, we can use a few different brands. You load into the app, and then you can almost use like a public scooter, I guess, that's around and about. Something like this kind of feels similar to one of those public scooters in the sense that, you know, it doesn't have like huge suspension on it, doesn't have a huge platform where you can sit both feet on comfortably. But like I said, you know, there are workarounds. It is a reliable experience. It can do really anything in all situations. Having that payload or the capacity of up to 110 kilograms, just keep that in mind if you are are over that weight limit, for example, this isn't going to be ideal for you. But if you can go up to 110 kilograms, perfectly fine. And I think this is a great starting point. If you just want to ride your scooter around like a suburban area, if you want to go through the city, stuff like that, this is going to be great. So definitely check it out. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.